with that. That is the death of Mika. Likewise, Australia takes down Silky. And I don't know if you noticed, but we're missing some big names. Obviously, the Terrans are missing. Like, there's no Bjorn, there's no Maru, there's no Cure. But we're also missing one of the regulars. We are also missing... Dark. Dark is here for like every single KSL. He's here for every single weekly tournament, but this weekend he appears to be missing in action. So yeah, I hope everything's okay. Hope we get to see him tomorrow in ESL Asia. Sorry, in 2 days for ESL Asia. And I hope it isn't anything too serious as we are getting into our next game and spawning in the bottom right hand corner. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the best Protoss in the entire world, representing CranKy Z Gaming. It is herO. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Royal Blood, we have his opponent. We have the American Protoss living in the land of Japan, representing Onside Gaming, as he is the social media manager of Onside Gaming. He's in charge of all the memes. It is Gemini, aka GGE Mini himself. And this is an awkward matchup. Okay, so we got some history here. We got some catching up to do. So I talk about this all the time. You know, Gemini, he is one of the big community contributors for the Protoss side of things. You know, he's kind of like the, what's a good comparison? I don't think I'd go as far as to say he's the Lambo of Protoss, but you know, he does a lot of good work. You know, he's like the SC Swarm of Protoss, or the Terran Craft of Protoss. He does a lot of Reaper Cliff guides for Protoss. He publishes a lot of builds for Protoss as well, for a lot of matchups. Does have his own blog. So he's been doing quite a lot for the Protoss scene for many years. Nowadays, a little bit less content. You know, he's focusing on his IRL job. He's an English teacher. Gemini gets us around and he kills the scouting probe of herO. Oh, it's over. And he's going for a double Stalker opener, as herO's going to be a little bit more safe as well, going for Stalker Sentry. But yeah, Gemini just focusing on his IRL job. He's an English teacher. On top of that, he's also the social media manager of Onside, living in Korea. And Gemini has been a massive fan of herO for a very long time. He was the OG herO fan. But not this herO. The other herO. The Team Liquid herO. And there was always a lot of kind of like a pseudo rivalry. Like, I wouldn't say there was an actual rivalry between the two heroes, because let's be real, CJ herO was always the best hero. Like, he was always the stronger hero. But Gemini, I wouldn't say he's like an anti-fan, but you know, like, he was always cheering against this hero and for the other heroes. So yeah, there's like a little bit of history here. There's not, I wouldn't say beef, but you know, it's funny. The Gemini's up against herO of all players. The one Protoss that Gemini didn't really cheer for. You know, Gemini, he was a massive capital H herO fan for a long time, a TL herO, and a massive Trap fan after that. Yeah, he was always going against the grain when it came to like Zest and when it came to CJ Enter's herO. But yeah, now he's here looking to flaunt his skills, looking to fight back for the pride of the one true herO, of course. And we'll see how he does. As for the time being, no, pretty standard opener. 2 gates here from Gemini. Likewise, herO as well, nothing too crazy. We do have prioritization of the natural bases, and we're getting into a Twilight Council as well. No early tech from either player, so a pretty passive start all around. Really passive, more macro-centric. Until such a point. So until then, though, we do see herO going to be looking to try and deny some of the scouting, but no, the hallucination does slip into the main base. It does get a full scout of herO and does confirm, okay, you know, no additional forge, at least here in the main base. We do have Blink on the way as well. Gemini confirms that nothing crazy is going on, but he will lose some workers. herO was able to slip into the main base. 3 probes go down, and not just 3 probes, because herO is pulling Gemini apart. Yeah, we had such a solid start here. There was so much going well for Gemini, despite the fact that he's up against herO, but alas, oh my god, these adepts aren't done. 9 probes go down. Oof. It's a lot of probes. And in a mirror matchup, that is almost game-ending damage. herO behind this, he goes for a 3rd base. He's just, yeah, nothing too crazy, just capitalizing on his advantages so far. Gemini can go for a faster +1, but because of all the harassment, because of all the twists and turns and the delayed economy, he's gonna likewise have to delay +1 as well. Or potentially it has slipped his mind. And Gemini may be forced into an all-in. You know, recovering from such an economic disadvantage, there are only a couple of options available to you, and there we go. There's the 3rd and 4th gateway for Gemini, and this is scouted by herO. He knows, Bobby, he knows, and herO just has to take the more defensive role. He's got the 3rd base on the way, shield battery as well. He's throwing down a couple of pylons in between these bases for vision, for potentially even more shield batteries. Stalkers on the way, and yeah, herO's army is just being more and more refined. Unfortunately, because of the delayed +1, like Gemini, it's gonna take a while for him to really like hit a +1 timing. It's gonna be much later than he would have liked. I don't know if he can really assert himself too much either. Like, he's arguably gonna have a strong production behind this, but herO, he's catching up. We've got 2 more gates on the way. We already have a 4-gate set up for herO, so he's going up to 6 gates, 7 gates, maybe even 8. There we go. 8 gates for herO here. He can sustain this with this just superior economy. And once all these gateways kick in, then herO is just gonna skyrocket ahead. Before that happens, Gemini, he's gonna have to make some magic happen. He does blink into the main base. He's gonna be able to depower some of these gateways. Up! Gets the pylon in the end, but he's gonna be losing a stalker in the process. A good trade for Gemini, to be fair. Some necessary damage being done here by GGE Mini. But we'll see if herO can. We'll see what else Gemini. GGE Mini again. We'll see what else Gemini can get done. Oh, as Whose Nation does get brought down, the hero's going to be focusing on a massive counter-offensive. The gates are repowered. The prism is here. herO has Riot, and with the power of these zealots, oh, there's no shield battery, there's no overcharge either. Gemini is being just forced into a corner. He can blink up into the main, but he's going to have to give up the 3rd base. Oof. And it's a 3rd that he cannot afford to lose. Again, a lot of this did just snowball from the early game, from all those dead workers. GG gets called, and herO takes game number 1. GG. See Teak in the chat. Each and every one of my channel points on Gemini. Ay, ay, ay. That was Pog for a few seconds. That was for the last series. Yeah. It was a nice moment for Silky. It was nice. But now getting ready for our 2nd game. As we get ready, one moment. I do have to close some blinds. My lighting is a little bit. I'm darker than I usually am. Oh, be back. Speaking of, oh my god. A massive shout out to Onside Gaming in the chat. Cheering for their boy, obviously. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted community subs. Gifted subs to Clown, to Werehog, Alpha X Sushi, who, fun fact, is the owner of Alpha X, Den, and DSTA as well. Thank you so much, Onside. We appreciate the support as always, as we are getting ready for our next game. Oh boy. Gonna be cheering for Gemini. Going up against herO is gonna be a tough ask, but we wish him the best anyway. And he was able to hold his own, at least initially here against herO. So We'll see what else he can bring to the table. Looks like we're getting a little bit of a pause, a little bit. But as soon as we're done, we're going to be diving back into this. And I see our second best Protoss player. The question is, when is Gemini playing? When is he playing in WTL? You know, you got Crank, you got J1 Choi to play in WTL. What about Gemini? What about Gemini? Ay. Oh, God. But it's great to see Onside supporting not just their players, but also their staff. Feels good, man. Feels good. When Gemini is ready, he'll play. Let's go. Here we go, we're diving into game number 2 and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Gresvan. We have the South Korean Protoss player representing CranKy Gaming. It is herO. So hello, Asheri, hello. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the American Protoss representing Onside Gaming. It is Gemini. The man himself, the man behind the memes on Twitter, on social media. You should follow Onside Gaming on Twitter, by the way. They like to have fun. They have nice personality as well. I do know that a lot of pro teams on social media can just be a little bit too formal, a little bit too uptight. I know we can be like that as well. Like, I know the Cranky Ducklings account, we tweet like when we go live and VODs and stuff, and when our players are playing as well, but we should probably do a little bit more than that whenever we have the chance to. Gemini, he always adds a lot of personality, a lot of flair to things like Twitter, to the social media platforms. You love to see it. Instagram as well. But we'll see how this all does turn out here, as once again we have double gate openers all around from both of our lovely players. 2 gate openers here on Gresvan. No one is going for a gate expand. No one is that crazy. We saw last game that Gemini was able to get a surround on the probe of herO, but this time herO is being a little bit more careful. He's avoiding the mineral line. Just going to be skirting around the edges. Oh! Okay, we're good. We're going to be okay as herO just flirts a little bit with the idea of being trapped by those probes. Meanwhile, across the map, likewise, Gemini is also here in the main, just looking to scout the first couple of units that are on the way. And I like this. Gemini is looking to turn the tables. He goes for a more aggressive opener, double adept coming out from Gemini. Meanwhile, herO is going for a more standard economic opener with a stalker into a sentry. Interesting moves here, as did herO see the Twilight Council? As we do have a Twilight Council on the way, but the Twilight Council is proxied. Oh my god. Are we gonna go for a proxy Dark Shrine? I'm very curious. The Adepts have arrived. They're gonna be focusing down the probe and denying any kind of scanning information. Even though herO did go for a sentry opener, the hallucination won't necessarily come across this proxy. There it is. The Dark Shrine is on the way. Oh, a cheeky move here by Gemini. He's going up to 4 gates as well. Sorry, 3 gates. Sorry, my mistake. 3 gates. We have a robo as well for that prism to go across the map. Here comes the hallucination. Not much anti-air. herO will get a scout of the main. And there are things that should tip him off. He sees 3 gates. This looks like proxy 4 gate. This looks like there is a proxied 4th gateway across the map. And that does trigger a robo response. Robo is on the way. This should be for immortal production, not for observers, but it's on the way regardless. So Gemini is on a timer. The prism is on the way. Dark Shrine is about to finish up as well. As the Adepts do shade into the main base, but there's plenty here to defend, and all the Adepts are going to go down. Oh, I do worry here for herO. I mean, okay, so what do we target down? So Gemini could go for workers. If there's an immortal first and not an observer, then Gemini could also go for the pylon as well. There we go. Immortal is on the way. Again, herO, he scouted basically a 1 base all in. Or the setup for a 1 base all in. So Immortal makes plenty of sense just so he's safe and sound. Here comes those DTs, 3 of them already in that prism. He could try and focus down the pylon and end the game from there. It's going to be close, but of course he doesn't know if there's an observer or not, as he's going to slip into the main base. The DTs have been revealed, and they're going to be able to find some damage. Up! I love this herO. He evacuates the main base. The whole position is real, and the Adepts will not get close to either the probes or the robo, but they do get picked up. They do get elevated over, pass into the natural. Up! But the observer has arrived, and just like that, only 1 DT is left. Very nice moves out of herO. The whole position, the saving of the workers. He only lost 1 probe, which is crazy. And now herO has a pretty nice lead. I mean, thankfully Gemini does have a natural behind this, and we're working towards charge. But this was a really big investment. You know, it was a really big commitment to go into these DTs, and they just weren't able to do too much. And now he's up against a Protoss player who has an Immortal, has a Robo. His Twilight Council is going to be a little bit delayed, sure, but I do still like herO's position overall. There's maybe a window where maybe Gemini can make use of this charge. Maybe he can go for a charge lot arc on timing, which can work out quite well. We'll see if he can hit it. As again, herO's own Twilight Council is pretty far behind, and Immortals don't do well against charge lots. Like, that's why I really like this choice here from Gemini. Like, Immortals, they're gonna have a hard time against this. There's of course the defender's advantage and a shield battery and force fields, but I do like this overall from Gemini. Here we go, 3 more gates are thrown down. When is this spotted by herO? He does see the gateways. We have 6 gates in total. This is looking to be pretty committed here from Gemini. I don't think he intends to take his gases. I don't think he intends to take a 3rd base. He's going to be pushing out with everything he has. Oh, and it gets spotted. herO knows, herO sees, and herO should be getting ready back at home. We're going to need more than one shield battery, though. So, there we go. 2nd shield battery is on the way. Again, herO knows that the army is coming. He knows that he has to prepare himself, physically and mentally. We have 12 Stalkers to defend for herO. We have 9 Zealots for Gemini. Should be looking for another warp in the Sim City. Oh my god. The gateways are thrown down. Gemini will not have an easy time breaking this. And yeah, he's going to back off and take a 3rd base instead. He could have gone for an aggressive warp in, but alas, he's going to think better of it. He's going to test the waters here at the natural at the same time. Oh, DT tries to slip into the main base, but no, does get pushed away. There was a detection. There were Stalkers. And from here, what is scary is the follow-up. You know, herO, sure, he's stuck on 2 bases. Sure, he's going to be behind in the overall base count, but his army is looking terrifying. He's about to have Blink. He's about to have +1. He's getting into double Robo, double Disruptor production? Oh my god. Okay. Hello there. Does he know that he has a 2nd Disruptor? I mean, he wants a 3rd base, to be fair. But yeah, that's pretty big. Did he forget about his 1st Robo? It's possible. It's very possible. We'll see. We'll see what happens. As from here, hero's just going to be asserting and vying for map dominance. Pushing out across. Now, herO has plenty of resources to work with. I do think that he forgot this. I do actually think that he forgot. I think he threw down the 2nd Robo and the Robotics Bay, and yeah. It happens. It happens. It's all good. herO's just setting up back at home, making sure he doesn't get supply blocked. I'll be honest, I actually wouldn't be opposed to even Colossi from herO, just because of how committed we are with the Zealots. I think even Colossus would have like a pretty powerful role in this army. But we'll see how these disruptors do work out for him. Gemini going to be pushing out. Has a pretty formidable army. You know, he does have the supply lead. But herO has the disruptors. And here we go. herO is going to be moving on out. Ooh, almost does catch that prism. Does get the observer in the end. Oh, he's going to be pushing on forward. The two Novas go up. Don't connect with anything. But we have one more Nova in the chamber. Has to be careful. He's going to rotate over towards the right-hand side. herO does spot the rotation. He does have plenty of observers out on the map. Does see this. Oh, and Gemini, I don't think we want to push in, Papi. Oh, God, he's going to try to into all these disruptors. The Novas, they go off on the Archons. Overcharges popped as well. And, you know, Gemini, these Zealots are putting in a lot of work. But so is that shield battery. Oh, he's actually getting on top of the disruptors. The disruptors are going to be going down. Wow, a good trade overall. The Zealots are looking to overwhelm these Stalkers. The Archons just dishing out so much damage in the back line. Was almost enough to break through. Reset the disruptor count. But alas, there are more disruptors where that came from. The target firing is too good as well. The Archons getting picked off one after the other. And now we can deal with the Zealots. The initial fight wasn't looking too bad, but GG does get called, and herO will take the series 2-0. Oh, GG, well played. Congratulations to herO as he does move on in the tournament, but a shout out to Gemini as well. You know, it's really cool to see him being active again. For a long time, he was taking a break from StarCraft. I know he was having a hard time enjoying the game, but he's back, and yeah, good to see him. GG, well played. Oh. Oh, and yeah, with that, herO moves on to the quarterfinals, where he's going to be facing another player. He's going to be facing Percival in a PvT.